Finance, of course, is a deeply personal matter here. And for the LGBTQ plus community, this personal aspect is often amplified, from navigating workplace discrimination to facing barriers in healthcare and housing. These financial growing pains are impacting the well-being of individuals within this diverse community. For more on their insights, we're joined by the hosts of Living Not So Fabulously, David and John Auten-Schneider. Great to have you both here with us in studio. Congratulations on the vodcast. I mean, people can catch it everywhere here in multiple media formats. David, first, as we think about how financial institutions and advisors are empowering LGBTQ plus individuals and couples to achieve financial success, how are we seeing this effectively be navigated right now?
Well, honestly, I think that one of the things that a lot of financial services companies are doing is they're trying, which is great, because we all do want to see ourselves in the firms that we are hoping to either engage with or are already engaged with, right? But I think one of the important things to remember for financial services companies is that not all of their clients are a monolith. John and I like to say that as individuals, when it comes to engaging with our money, it's almost like the Pareto Principle. There's an 80-20 split. And that 80% is one side is the finance side, where it is very much the same for everybody. I swipe my credit card the same way you do. I pay with a dollar bill the same way you do. But the 20% is the personal side of personal finance. And that is affected by where I was raised, the color of my skin, my sexual orientation, my gender. All of that has an overshadowing effect as to how we either use or don't use money. And I think financial services companies need to remember that and speak to that when they're working with clients.
Yeah, that's spot on. You recently had Ruth Jacks, who was the Wells Fargo Executive Vice President and Head of Commercial Banking as well, on your podcast. She had a lot to say about her financial growing pains as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. I want to play a clip of this for our viewers here and get your reaction on the other side.
Those were the biggest drivers for me. So when I say I didn't want to be poor, it was that. I didn't want to be hungry, and I wanted to be seen. When I was 20, I would make $20,000 a year. When I was 30, I'd make $30,000. When I was 40, I'd make $40,000.
Make your age.
Yeah. That's exactly right. When I was 50, I'd make $50,000. You get it. So by the time I retired, I'd be set.
Mm-hmm.
You're making $100,000 a year and you're 100 years old.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And fabulous.
And so, John, it's challenging to overcome poverty and achieve this type of success. What steps can people in the LGBTQ plus community take to attain that financial security?
Absolutely. The number one step is to start using the tools that are available to build financial security. We did a study in 2022 and 2023 with the Motley Fool. Both years surveyed over 2,000 LGBTQ plus folks and found that by and large, we're not using those tools. Relative to the general population, we're not using retirement accounts, even when we have them available to us. We're not using non-retirement accounts. We're not using mortgages. So two great wealth builders in this country, we're not being included in that for whatever reason, a myriad of reasons. We don't have life insurance the way the general population does. We're also not using wills and trusts, and we all need to have a will or a trust.
Just lastly, while we have you here, when you think about your wealth building plans here, what are some of the biggest topics that you need to discuss with your financial advisor? David, we'll start with you.
Sure. I think probably the most important thing is for folks in the LGBT community is, where are you going to retire? Yeah. When we look across the country, we look for places where we feel like we are safe and welcomed. Oftentimes they're in states or cities that are very expensive. So we need to have that honest conversation with our advisor about where we're going to retire, and do we need to have more in retirement, or maybe do we need to work a little bit longer so we have a larger nest egg so that we can have a fabulous or safe and comfortable retirement.
Right, and a fabulous mansion in a place with preferably 4 seasons for me. John, I want to get your take though.
Yeah, absolutely. We think that basically what clients need to start doing is sharing with their advisors what their family looks like. What is their family structure? Our dynamic doesn't necessarily look like the general population. So what does our family look like? What do we want to inherit to our children? What do we want to inherit to future generations of LGBTQ plus people?
David and John Auten-Schneider, thank you so much for joining me here on the program today. Everyone, you can be sure to tune in to Living Not So Fabulously with David and John Auten-Schneider every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got it on all streaming platforms.